In today's video, we're discussing a Magic card that has jumped over 1200%, and it's not the only Magic card we're talking about today. Welcome back, guys. MTG Moxman here. I'm glad you made it back for another Card Spike video. Now, if you're a regular viewer here, yeah, we haven't had Card Spike videos for the last little while because, well, no cards have been spiking. Final Fantasy has just taken all the glory and nothing else has come along to follow up. But now things are starting to change. Players are starting to look in weird, unusual places and they found something. Let's not waste time. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market and why people are actually interested. This is Searing Touch from Tempest. Right now the low is $4.41. You can see that just after June 30th, all the way up after July 7th, this card has been just spiking straight up. So what's going on with the card? It's a single red instant with a buyback option of 4. Now buyback's an old card, but for those who didn't know, you'd pay 1, you could just do your 1 damage to a creature or a player. But if you had 5 mana, you could buy the spell back and put it back into your hand. It was kind of a cool little nifty thing. But this was the old school. This is not new. So things have been twisted to the point that crazy combinations can happen, even with cards like this. And let's not forget that a card like Searing Touch, it hasn't been reprinted. It has a very low print run, relatively speaking, to newer sets nowadays. So now you want to know what's going on. We have a low print run. We know things are selling. The card is spiking. Tell us, Moxman. Well, if we look over at cards like Rowan, Sign of War, right? This card here costs 3. It's a 4/2 with Menace, but you see the tap ability? Spells you cast this turn that are black and or red cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you lost this turn, activate only as a sorcery. So potentially, under the right circumstance, if you take a big hit, and then you use Rowan Sign of War, you could actually pay the 5 mana, buy this back infinitely, as long as you took more than 5 damage, which would instantly win you the game. Because you've paid the buyback, you'd have to take 5 or more damage, but then you could just infinitely cast the spell out over and over and over again. Now, I understand that we've got the Eldraine set being a little bit older, but that's not all that's going on, right? Because if we jumped over and take a look at upcoming sets, let's not forget that Avatar is coming. And Aang is part of that set. And his flip side will tell you that Aang, Master of Elements, has flying, but spells you cast cost 5 less to cast. So of course, Searing Touch becomes an infinite combo when Aang is turned over. Now we don't know how that flip is going to have an effect. We don't know how hard the firebending and all that stuff's going to be, but it's pretty epic to think that this is going to happen. It also says that at the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Aang, Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4+1/+1 counters on him, and he deals 4 damage to each opponent. So, of course, he's going to be a great commander card. Absolutely. But this single combo will just win you the game, which is insane to think about, but that's what a lot of players do think, because if you're in a CDH match, you want this over as quick as possible. Searing Touch and Aang is going to work, and of course, so will the other card looking at Rowan Sign of War. Now, let's jump over, let's take a look at this, because how hot are the sales for Searing Touch are kind of interesting as well. You can see here a lot of speculators and people diving into the market. If you look at there, you'll see 16 sales, 12 sales, 11 sales, 5 sales. People are taking advantage of this card as soon as they discovered it a couple of days ago, and they just jumped in, started buying as many copies as they could. And that means the price is just going through the roof. Now, there's more to it than just that. There's more than just cards like this with speculators, but at the same time, we have to recognize that this kind of craziness happens, and it just hasn't happened lately because of the dominance that we've seen from Final Fantasy. And that's a big thing to think about. Final Fantasy is so hot, it made everyone stop looking at other cards that could have potential spikes in the market. Now, how many air combos are still out there? How many air card spikes are we going to see? There's always going to be a lot. It's just sometimes there's a lull in the market and we don't see as much going on. And if you look at this card as a whole, Searing Touch, it can get reprinted. It's not on the reserve list. And chances are it's going to wear off. Like many art cards we've seen, like Forsaken Waste, Soldevi Digger, Mind Over Matter. These cards wax and wane with popularity, and eventually they start to die down. They start to lose some of their edge, and when that happens, the price is going to dip. The question is, will it go low enough? But on the hindsight, we can look at this and say, this card's still under $10. If you want this combo for Aang, you can buy it now for under $10 and get it out of the way. Look for a near mint copy and just call it Dunsville. Never get the card again. Hang on to it, put it in a binder, and just say, if I need it, it's here. It's never my problem now. I don't have to think about it. Like a lot of players do when they look at the mana base. You get the key cards you need, you never have to rebuy them again, which means in Wizards of the Coast case, they better get very inventive about how they are going to give us new cards, because a lot of players do hang on to these things now, just because of how the prices can fluctuate. Now, let's jump over and let's take a look at the next card I want to share with you today. So the next card I want to discuss with you has gone up about 250%, and this is Sliver Gravemother. Now, this is from Commander Masters, and that's back in 2023. This is a 5 casting cost, 6/6, and of course it says the legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value. And then, of course, it has Encore 5. This is a powerful card. It's a sliver, and it was really a big deal when it was announced for Commander Masters. It gave, again, that little bit of nostalgia. Had a whole bunch of people buying the Sliver Commander deck and just drove it home that this was amazing. Now, that being said, a couple of years have gone by. The price really slipped. Those who wanted it bought it. You can still find some of these decks out there. Yes, they're expensive, but they are out there. And now players kind of forgot, and now they want to go back and build a sliver deck. So they started diving in on this card, driving this particular version's price up. But there are 3 different versions of the card, right? So you got different ways of getting your hands on it. And of course, these were opened inside the collector boxes as well as the commander deck. So you have versions available. But either way, this type of card at this price point, $36 right now, US, I believe. When we look at that price, you ask yourself, is that price going to hold? Like Searing Touch, it's not going to be able to hold or maintain that higher value point unless we had a massive turnover of brand new sliver cards just making the engine of the market go, like we just saw with Final Fantasy. Continuation of sales. Sliver Gravemother being at $36 isn't exactly cheap. $12 was a great price, but it's been driven up by players buying it. When that buyer's hype dies down, the price has nothing to suspend it higher, so it will dip down as well and allow other players the opportunity of buying at a lesser price. But yeah, you're going to miss some time enjoying the card, so keep this one in mind. Now, here we are toward the end of the video, and there's one more card I want to talk about from Edge of Eternities. This is a card that caught my eye, and I wonder what players are thinking. This is the Dominion Bracelet. It is a 2 casting cost legendary artifact equipment. It says equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has 15. Exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Now, it's equip 1, which is great. You can just put this on right away and you get a +1/+1. But that means if you put on a 2/2 creature, it's already 3/3, which means you only need 12, right? There's ways of pumping up creatures. There are ways of getting these things pumped up huge in Standard, but not only in Standard. You can obviously do this as well inside Commander, where a card like this can be a game-ending effect depending on how it's being utilized. And let's face it, in Commander, there's all kinds of cards that can make you ignore the legend rule, which means you can make multiples of this, copy this thing, do like a copy artifact on that thing, sacrifice the copy, but then bring it back with some recursion event, and then copy it again. Like, it could be a real bad thing to see that thing come around. So I look at that card and say, it seems really powerful to me, and I'm actually curious what you guys think. I want to know what people think about this particular card, and I hope you put some comments in the comment section, because in the old fogey mind of Moxman, the boomer mind, I look at that and say, it just seems so powerful. How many ways can we abuse a card like this? And I'm wondering, they created it, they must know and play tested it. Does this look as broken to me as it does to you guys? That's what I want to know. Drop some comments in this. Let me know what you guys think about it. And thanks again, by the way, for hanging out for today's video. I mean, it was pretty awesome having you guys all pop in today for a card spike video, which we haven't had for a few weeks because cards really calmed down. Final Fantasy, I get more impressed with you every day. We'll cover more of that next week. And let's not forget here at the end of the video, starting this weekend, we have the top 10 Then we have the Sunday top 10 for the reserve list, okay? So the hottest selling cards, which Final Fantasy will find out how it's doing. That's going to be Saturday. And then Sunday, reserve list top 10. Then my live stream will be on Sunday evening, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys can make it out. But all next week, I will be filming at my other location. I am on vacation with my family. Videos will appear as regular. I'm just at a different place to do it, okay? So there'll probably be some green screen, some non-green screen. Maybe I'll be chilling outside. Just kicking it back with you guys, talking about some stuff, okay? So thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here for today's video. And you know what? It's an awesome day in the world of Magic. It's just so many great sets coming down the pipeline. I can't wait to get in on this stuff. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, thanks again for being here at the end of the video. A shout out and thank you to my fantastic patrons of the channel. Without those patrons, daily uploaded video is not made possible. So if you're a YouTube membership member or one of my patrons, it's because of you things like this happen. So each and every day these videos are made, edited, everything gets put together, and it's because of those people out there believing in this channel and supporting each and every day. So thanks again. I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble, the house that never ends. You got your backstage pass? Have you been vetted, checked, and you understand the risks by talking in this room? All right, good. Glad you made it. We're not always talking sane stuff in here, but we are talking. That's why it's called a Ramble in the Jamble. All right, so first off, Searing Touch. Great combination card. Nothing's going to hold that price up. It's just not going to happen. Okay, long term, it's $6 card. It's nothing. And if it got too high, they would reprint it. CDH? Absolutely. Now, you jump over like a Grave Mother, that just screams to fit into Edge of Eternities. The idea of the slivers as a boogeyman, I love the idea. It's like Aliens versus Predators type thing. Just Aliens movie, not Aliens versus Predators. The Aliens versus the Colonial Marines type thing. We got like soldier guys duking it out, right? It's game over, man. Just love it, okay? Love the idea of it. I need them to go with this. I think they got something here. Now, last card. The Dominion bracelet. Yeah, it gets exiled. I get that. But the idea that you could replicate it by using like Mirror Box or something that says, you don't copy a legendary thing, you can ignore the legendary rule, copy artifact, things like that. And I go, you know what? There's ways of making this stuff work. I realized after I said the video, I realized at the end part that like if you exiled your copy artifact, it'd be exiled still. So you couldn't use that again to go back. But is there a way to replicate it, copy it, token it every single turn? Maybe not with a copy artifact. Maybe that wasn't the right analogy card I was looking for. But there's something out there. I know it. They think we've got you on this one. No, because I can use the Ring of a Roof to go back and get that card. I'll find a way. I think it's powerful. Let me know, guys. Have a great one.